we are going through Discover Social Studies. So this is for third grade. This is what we are going to be using this year. It is a combination type curriculum where you have your workbooks. You also have your teacher's manual. So you have a teacher manual, and then there's an online version to bring learning to life and make it interactive. So let's dive in, and I'm going to show you the inside scoop of these. Okay, so here we are with the instructor's guide, and we will open it up, and you can see that each lesson has everything written out for you that you need. So it has what the learning objectives are going to be for that lesson, ways that you can support your lesson, and what I really love is that it has different learning styles based on your student. So if they're an auditory learner, if they're a visual learner, if they're a kinesthetic learner, there's different ways to change up the curriculum so that it really helps with them. And then, of course, my favorite, diving deep with the extension activities. Now, when you go inside the student guide, it is so colorful and fun, and it's split up into different sections to really break down different learning activities for the kids. So it's not feeling overwhelming. It's not feeling like a textbook with bunches of reading. You have your vocabulary words. You have a create, so something that they can do hands-on and being able to really put into place what they're learning. There's an explore section that really walks them through whatever it is that they're learning about. So I love the vibrant, beautiful pictures that are inside. And then there's also take a closer look section, and all of this goes hand in hand with the online portion that really walks students through what they need to do, when, how, and kind of helps take some of the pressure off of you as the parent. So when students first log on to the online portal, they are taken to step 1, which is get ready. It gives a synopsis of exactly what they're going to learn about and vocabulary terms. Step 2 is read and do, which directs kids offline to read out of their work text and do certain lessons in there. Step 3 is interactive practice, which brings kids back online to have more fun with games and learning. Step 4 is continuing the journey, which again is a digital component. And now that students have learned new concepts and solidified their understanding through the readings and the games, this is where they actually get to put that understanding into practice and see how it would work in real life. Step 5 is extend your learning, which as homeschoolers, these are the rabbit trails that we love. This is where you really get to dive deep, and you're given extra resources to learn more and understand the concepts better. So they partner with El Fango, and there's just so many other resources and extras and videos and projects that you can do. This by far is my absolute favorite part of the whole program because I love going down the rabbit trails and getting my kids excited about a subject to learn more. Step 6 can either be digital or through the workbook, and it's where you show what you know. It's the way to check for understanding and make sure that your kids really have comprehended everything that was going on in this section. Finally, if they're still struggling with a concept, step 7 takes you back to the workbook and has the kids really delve into that and do all of the lessons through there. And this final step is really just to solidify and make sure that they're truly understanding and comprehending what it is that they were learning in that lesson. So the way that I've set up our lessons for this year, so that in the instructor guide, you will see it has a list of every single chapter with every lesson. So I've worked it out so that we do 2 to 3 lessons the first week, and then the second week we're going to have one final lesson and then the review. If a chapter only has 4 lessons, then we'll do 2 lessons the first week and then the lesson and the review the next week. Because they actually take into consideration that the review is a lesson. So like you'll see here on chapter 1, you have 5 lessons, but that includes your review. So my kids are going to do 3 lessons in the first week, and then the second week they're going to do their 4th lesson, and then they're going to do their review. Or if you look at chapter 8, we have a whole bunch of lessons right there in chapter 8, right? So I know that we're going to spend probably 3 weeks on chapter 8. I want to break it up so that it's not too much for them. So if I work it out so that their review is either alone on a week, especially when it comes to like chapter 9, because they're reviewing a lot of information. So if I break it up so that they are doing their review, like the review is the only thing that they're doing that week, it's not as overwhelming to them. Doing 2 to 3 lessons a week, we will kind of drag this out for our 36 weeks worth of school. You can obviously do it much faster. I think there's 75 lessons. So if you wanted to do 1 lesson a day and do it 5 days a week, you definitely could. I would say each lesson probably takes us about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how much I really add on to that lesson.
With this being a blended curriculum, I really have high hopes in how my kids are going to respond and not get bored quite so easily. I love the way that the pictures are just vibrant. It's broken up into tiny parts so they don't feel like they're just stuck reading a textbook the whole time.